and just be taken care of, and we should just you are entitled to respect just because you go out and work, and you in return can expect that we're going to stay home and raise children and all that. That might be a little bit antiquated in thinking. But to speak to his point, I also think that some of the men from the older generation are still imitating their slave masters' idea of what masculinity is. That's not authentically African. It's not authentically indigenous. And for some of us who in our nature we want to submit to men, we can't submit to that because it doesn't speak to who we are. Like, it doesn't inspire receptivity. It inspires rebellion and opposition. So I think they're like, men have to do a better job at finding balance in what masculinity is, and it's not always brute in your face. You sit down, you do this because I said do it. A lot of it is very receptive as well. Like, I think that's what Joseph was saying. Hold on, I just want to consistency, loyalty, reliable, security, open-minded, to treat me like a queen. Yes. Yeah. So yeah, if we could talk a little bit about toxic masculinity and how that might be playing a part.
Be man back.
Oh, no one knows.
Hit man back.
No. See, they all roll their eyes. It's not about
hit man back.
When you hear that
man back, see,
that's a
man back.
No. I think we will all agree that Greco-Roman culture has its place in everything in society today, and it has a toxic male masculinity, or whatever she just said. I don't know but Greco-Roman culture's presence today, like, let's just take for instance the church. In some churches, like, my mom is a minister in a church, but she can't be like the pastor because the rules is like a man can't be a pastor. Now the funny thing is, I was doing some philanthropy, and I had to pick up some packages at Salvation Army. They had a TV on, and that was a white man literally talking about the history of the church going back to Greco-Roman culture, that their pantheon or mythology didn't believe in men being in heaven. So that was translated into the early church. But there was nothing, and this was a white guy, nothing that indicated in the Bible, like thousands of years ago, that God wanted any difference in like the man and the woman. Like, pretty much it was like equality, and that they were to balance each other. And I say that to say that, so once we wash ourselves, or we begin to free ourselves of the chains of what would be toxic male culture, masculinity, or Greco-Roman culture, certain cultural precepts that brought in bad things that just don't work for us. When we begin to separate ourselves from that, then we could look at things in a different light. Like, oh man, like maybe we were plagued by these things that we thought were normal, or certain perceptions of women that we thought were normal that isn't.
I think it's very, I'm not bashing, I'm just saying it's very possible that black men are asserting white masculinity and expecting results that you should not expect.
Well,
and that's why you get the results you have.
Can I ask, what exactly is toxic masculinity? Because they say the term, and I can put what I think it is by what it sounds like, but I want the person who asked that question to elaborate on what it is, and I think we'll be better able to answer based off the elaboration.
We definitely need to look back at our ancestral spiritual practice. Okay, when I say toxic masculinity, toxic is like drinking bleach. It's, something that's poisonous, right?
It's counterproductive.
You might even call it hyper masculinity, where it's an over assertion of something to the point where it's more than necessary, it's excessive, and not only that, it's not characteristic of what you're trying to be even.
And also it denies that aspect of you that's yin. So you can't cry, you can't have any emotions.
Yes. Yes. Imbalance.
Can I say something real fast then? Because she just said something. Most people that know me, and Sister Sasha can verify that, say Bilal too hard. Am I right? You say I'm too hard. Okay. Well, anyway, listen. My masculinity as a man had nothing to do with white folks. Period. Exactly. Let's get this straight. Okay. Then let me say this to you. Exactly. Like I was saying something earlier to the brother, and I said, I'm not a sensitive brother, and I know that. And because I know that, I had to learn to listen. And me learning to listen is learning what that particular woman wants. Because every woman is different. Okay? Now, this toxic stuff goes deep as far as our people, period. Because the woman, or our women, and both the man is looking at the woman. When we use terms like queens, no, she's a god, and use a goddess. Once we go back to that concept and respect the sister as a goddess, and the sister respect the brother as a god, it's a whole different attribute. Because when we keep saying queen, queens become women. You can comprehend what I'm saying. You saying king, that nigga can lose his crown. So you see what I'm going at with this? So this mindset is toxicity, period. Because there's no growth in it.
Got you, John.
You hear what I'm saying? There's no growth in it. Now, the type of man I am, just may say, okay, you too hard. No, I'm firm. I'm flexible. I'm like that still. I just don't bend, but I am flexible. Reason why is this. Because women, and the brother may mention, a woman, God didn't get tenfold, they will be equal. No. One thinks on logic and one thinks on emotion. Two different things. As brothers, our mistake is when we get caught up in that emotion, we ride that roller coaster, then we become emotional. What Europeans have done, since you want to mention the Greco, they are so-called manhood is only to puff their chests up, but in reality, they homosexuals. They have more aromatase in them than a little bit. So what do they have done? They have given you aromatase foods. See? So it's supposed to be a man and a woman, it end up being two women. Comprehend what I'm saying? And that's toxicity. Not a man being a man, because a real woman gonna want a man that, even if he do have a little tear in the little eye, little hole in the eye, but he gonna man up though. It's okay because but when you boo-hooing and you over there crying because you's a wimp, that's not cool. See, a real man not gonna allow the po-po to come up in here and touch one of these sisters. Okay? Comment what I'm saying? No room for no rat. Okay?
Okay. Let's just bring in a couple of these questions. Cool. What's the point of a woman sharing her husband with other women? What's the point of it? What is the origin of that? We can answer that briefly.
Wow, we can answer that. I thought we were talking about.
I know. What's the point? What is the point of a woman sharing her husband? I think people are saying that the point of it is to build family and community and economic viability and shared responsibility. Morris Blackman asks, can we agree that our people are sick?
Yep.
If we can, does that exclude anyone, myself included? How are we sick? The inability for us to work together to create something better. Is this Brother Ali posing as Morris Blackman? For us to be able to work together, we have to get our minds right. To get our minds right, we have to reestablish our culture. With that being said, going back to the understanding that we all are sick, how can we truly have a productive discussion until we regain our collective culture? That's a good question. The husband needs to build a family he started and stick to it, John says. I think he's an advocate of monogamy. He's an advocate of legal monogamy and social polygamy, but I'm going to just keep that between us, John.
Can I say something real fast, sis? We, as men, sometimes look for an easy way out. And it's easier for a man to say, I just want one woman. Because our women now, I have a saying, and this is no disrespect to no sisters, but I say, women are crazy. I got a new book coming out called Mad Men, Crazy Women. But I break down the reason for that. And it's based on post-traumatic slave. Okay? Now, but back to my point. I'm in the barbershop. And all I hear the young boys talk about is, I don't even want a woman. No, for real. They like, I ain't marrying no chick. I had one little young boy saying, look, I I'm not even taking a sister to McDonald's. I must not have it. Almost fell out on the floor.
I understand.
But am I right? Do y'all hear this?
Yeah.
Do you hear this?
I understand the logic because it's so much that we got to deal with because it seems like nothing is ever good enough because they damage, we damage.
Right.
And it's we fixing our own damage. Like when I got with my lady, her dad used to live next door to where she grew up, but he never did nothing. He never confirmed like, yo, I'm your dad. Wow. So when I got with her, I got a chance to I started to build on that. I said, you need to reach out to him and ask him, because you got your mom's side, but you never got his side of the story.
Right.
So she talked to him about his side, whatever, but he still didn't do anything. All right, cool. So that's one chapter of our life that we built on, we worked on, and we got past that. So I feel like it's just so much, and then on top of that, it's so many things that, like we live in an age where social media runs everything. Mm-hmm. So you may get into an argument because like I said, they damaged, so they have a lot of insecurity. So one thing, a major thing for women is insecurity. So if she may feel as though, well, I feel like I would feel more secure if you showed me off. So post me on your Instagram every day. It's like, I should make you feel secure by the things that I'm doing for you on a daily basis. Whenever you need something, I'm there. When you need, I'm the person you depend on. I make sure you're good when you need things, whatever you need. Right here, I take care of you in that aspect. I'm here. You don't go through my phone and find women. I'm not getting caught cheating. You should feel secure because of what I'm providing on a daily basis. But that doesn't matter because I want this too, because that's what makes me feel secure. So you're like, what are you talking about? Like I used to get a problem with when I was in school. She lived next door to me, so we were sleeping in the same bed every night. So when I get up in the morning, I kiss you on your forehead and I tell you, have a good day, I'll talk to you later. Boom. Now you yelling at me because you don't text me good morning no more. Well, I text you good morning, I just kissed you on your forehead and I told you, I love you, have a good day. You understand what I'm saying? Right. But it's just, so if you arguing with that, but I'm giving you something better than that. Don't argue with me over something so small, but I'm giving you something bigger and better. But that doesn't matter. That's not what I want. I want this. So it's like you start to pull your hair out. Like, what do you, so you end up having arguments over the littlest, dumbest things, and it's like all based off insecurity. And it's like, what do you, like, you be like, you know what? After you, if y'all call it quits, you like, I'm not doing that ever again.
I have a question. It says, if we agree that people are sick, that we are sick individually, how can we help fix women, or how do we attempt to deal with multiple personalities if we can't even fix ourselves, or until we fix ourselves?
Well, I feel like for the most part, most of us in here don't eat meat anymore, right?
No.
So we vegan. So I feel like once you fix that, once you start to fix your diet, and you fix your mentality, you fix your thought process, the way you train your thought, and once you get the big picture, I feel like you're not sick no more. You understand what I'm saying? I don't feel like, I mean, we as a whole you can say we sick, but I feel like individually we can. There's some people that say we healed now. You understand what I'm saying? So I would feel like I wouldn't say you still sick. I would say you healed. You healed. I'm healed. You know what I'm saying? For the most people, I would say this brother right here.
In other words, so with y'all, let me say, what the young brother's actually saying is, we comprehend collectively as a whole.
STFU.
Collectively as a whole, our people are generally sick. But with that being said, we have to learn to stop giving power to negativity. Period. So even though we know, our people still eating flesh and blood and doing what they want to do, they want to party at night. All I want to do is sleep at night, getting past my bedtime anyway. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, the young brother's correct. At first, it starts with self, but the issue is that I'm gonna flip it a little bit. I had to speak on a panel discussion on what can we do to help our sisters that are abused, okay? And the brother on the panel kept talking about strip clubs. What did that have to do with helping our sisters that are abused?
He was saying that as a solution?
Yeah, we can just stop strip clubs. That's what he kept saying. And kept saying it. I'm saying it to say this. Because he had an individual problem. Because that's what I had to know from it. Okay? That he wanted to make it collectively. We have to stop that. we have to stop giving power to our own individual powers, and this is what happens with sisters because they have individually been damaged, and brothers have individually been damaged. That we view the whole collectively, our sisters the way we do, and same way when you got brothers say, I never want another black sister again. I want a white girl because he's been damaged by a black woman. Same when you can just say, I don't really want a man. I want me another sister because I've been damaged by this man. These are individuals that only themselves gonna have to deal with. We can give solutions to how to help. Same way with those that want to be on crack. I don't care how many times you take them to a crack house to get them out of the crack house and pull them out the crack house. They're going to run back to it until they get what? That's they want to be free from the crack. Yeah. So individually, it starts with us. Stop giving power to it. This is how we're going to deal and address this issue. Yes, we are collectively, but I'm not going to give the power to it no more. I'm not even going to say it. You already know the thought of it. So right now, family sitting around here, right? Power right here, right? Right. So what we will into existence is going to be what we think and do now. Period.
So that's be the change you want to see.
Correct. I love that, sister. Did you put that up? Say it again. Say it again.
Be the change you want to see.
So y'all comprehend what I'm saying, then, right? It's really no rocket scientist stuff. It's really we don't need 1,000 books.
That's a cop-out answer. Well,
see,
we all sick. No.
See, I give you an example. Your body on the hill. What did Dr. Sabi tell you to do? Alkaline, right? Get rid of the mucus, right? Right? Alkalinity is our thoughts then. Because our thoughts are acidity. Get rid of the acidity thoughts. Get rid of the acidity actions. Because your thought brings your actions. You can't say you want a good woman and you in the bar looking for no women. Correct? Sisters, you can't say you want a good brother and you hang out in the bar. You're going to get what you ask for. Because that's the type of brother that you want. You want somebody to drink. You want somebody.
And there's more solutions. There's more minds that can come together and solve these problems that we had since childhood. And so, basically, that's what I want to say.
Beautiful.
Joseph, did you have something?
It's going to take teamwork. I just agree with a lot of what Brother was saying. Did you mind, Shaka, say?
Yeah, I think that kind of touches on what Brother Trez was saying. I believe that healing is a daily act. I don't think that you can reach a certain level and that's it. I think you can reach a certain level in maybe a certain area, but not in life. Okay, I'm Afrocentric, check. I'm vegan, check. But I probably got a lot more wickedness inside of me that you wouldn't see because of my outside appearance. So I think we all have to really dig deep into ourselves, and the self that like we have when we're in the room alone and digging in to what we need to work on, and not just the self that we show others. And I think once we do that on a daily basis, like the same way we take a bath every day and drink water every day, just try to figure out what's going on with us, I think that's when healing can kind of start to happen. Because we see all these things on a big level outside, like socially. But those same macro issues are the same micro issues that we have, and they're existing as a reflection, as within, so without. So, I think I'm just saying, like, I think it's very important to do deep reflection within yourself without anyone else looking. And that's the route to daily healing.
That's what's up. You know what's good about that, sister? Is once you look deep into yourself, you find out that it's really not problems. It's just situations. We blow situations up and make them and turn them into problems. And that's an issue that you will find a lot with couples. Like what you're saying with your mate. Okay? A lot of these just situations.
Are you all able to hear?
If you can't deal with a situation, then it become a problem. Some brothers can't deal with a situation. They can't take their woman. Somebody mentioned about a woman having a friend.
What question?
Can't deal with the situation. It's just a friend. It's not a problem. She's faithful. She's not sleeping with him. She's not marinating with him. She's not making a husband out of him. You see? It's just a situation. But again, because we cannot deal with certain situations, and that comes with, again, our own mindset. Because everybody's situation is different.
I think the sister,
okay?
Yeah, for sure. I think the sister brings up an excellent point in that,
on me or this is
that, you know, we have a surface way of presenting things, like you said, like check, I'm vegan, I'm this, I'm good, I'm conscious now, but it doesn't make you exempt from having other deep-rooted issues that we need to be working on every day. So one of the T's we're going to have actually is, what does it mean to be conscious? Like, is wearing a head wrap or being able to speak on certain things or calling yourself Muslim or being sovereign, is that what it means to be conscious? So, I mean, even in here, like, just in all honesty, that we might have a perception of the people in this room and think that we all have it figured out, but a lot of us are really dealing with these issues like in real time, like really dealing with the problem of relationships and polygamy and the question of monogamy. So we can't always theorize it and philosophize it. We have to, like, how do you solve that problem on a practical level? Because it's real. It's not philosophy and it's not a theory. It's reality, because the people that we interact with are affected by it. The women that we interact with are affected by it. The children involved are affected by it. So we have to be very, very honest with ourselves and have a lot of integrity.
I don't know a man or a woman without man or woman problems. Yeah.
Situations. Thank you, sir. We need somebody going on a little bit, right?
Because come on now, to work it out, then it doesn't have to become a problem. But you definitely need to work it out.
Thank you.
It's all on how you work these situations out, whether they become problems or not. A lot of families have problematic situations right now. Most families have problematic situations, especially, how can you say, married couples with children versus married couples without children. There's going to be some differences involved. Depends on how many children there is, how many different wives, or I don't want to call them baby mamas, but it's just the reality. Some men have multiple children by multiple women, and that causes strife in relationships and problems.
You bring Ali in.
So it's a situation right now where men and women, this is my take on the issue. Man and woman don't have any business together if they don't have any business together.
That's
because it's going to take a business, like you said, it takes family as business. It's going to take a business to sustain that family, you know, especially if they have children, because you can't have a child and hope that somebody else is going to take care of your children. You know what I mean? You can't have your child begging or sign them up to be a slave, you know, sign them up to get a worker's permit, or have your child begging for a job from the slave masters, corporate fiction. So again, man and woman don't have no business together. They don't have no business together, because it takes a business to sustain that family and the family to maintain that business.
Yeah.
So we need men and women to work together.
That's right.
The audience is asking that you all speak up because they can't hear you as well as they can hear me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just bring Brother Ali in his mind by way of me. That I know if he was here, he would say that it's very important to have the same value system, whoever you're with. So
that's right.
If it's your principal relationship, you have to share the same value system and be working towards building something together. So that's very, very important.
That's right.
Because it's not something you want to figure out once the commitment is made. You know. Someone asked the question, as a woman, how would you feel about your husband having a co-wife or wives asking me, Asasia?
Answer the question then.
Huh?
How would Asasia feel about her husband having a co-wife or wives. I think that if my husband was a man of deep integrity and had a vision that was agreeable, and I felt like I trusted that he would not be manipulative or manipulate the emotions of the women or take advantage of them, and he was firmly rooted and balanced as a man, that it could be a blessing. But absent those things, it would be a curse.
May I say something though?
You were reading.
I wanna just say this to the brothers that have multiple or in the process of bringing sisters together. Cannot have no respect of persons.
I'm sorry?
No respect of persons.
What does that mean?
Okay. What that means is that you put one over the other.
Right.
What that means is you have a number system. She number 1, she number 2, she number 3, she number 4. No. You can never show that.
Oh, if I was in a multiple partnership, I would be the bottom. I'd be like, what they call it?
We know what you said. Let me just say, hold on. Let me say this. What you have to do is establish the value system that the sister that have time, that time is respected by the other sisters.
Seniority.
Okay, this is all. But you don't literally come out and say, this is my number 1, this is my number 2, this is my number, no.
But I think it's necessary to have a primary relationship because that directs the flow.
But that's not what I'm saying.
It creates order.
That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that you have no respect of persons, like your children. If you have, how many children do you have, sister?
5.
5. And if you show respect to persons to one other children, the other one won't be jealous. Am I right?
No, but when I'm in the house with my children, there is a hierarchy.
That's all right. She's the elder. So right. We say that in respect of time. That's cool. But only in respect of time. You can't go in the house, come in the house and bring one cookie for one child. You got 4 or 5 other children sitting there. And say, I bought this cookie, I went to the store, I got this cookie especially for you. That's not cool. So it's the same way. Listen, like your body. Like I told the brothers earlier, everything we do, we base off this body here. Okay? Mm-hmm. This blood flows through every organ, do it not? Mm-hmm. The oxygen flows through every organ, do it not? Mm-hmm. When we go outside and get this beautiful sunshine, it's for all of us, is it not? Mm-hmm. It provides for all the planets, do it not? Mm-hmm. Same thing. Okay? No respect to persons. Once you start that, it starts issues. Mm-hmm. Then you're going to have eruptions. I'll give you an example of something, because we grown folks up in here, right? Never sit and have a conversation with your wife sexually about the other wife.
No. Who does that?
People do. Here's what I'm saying. Listen to me, because I can ask. You know, you got one, that might want to do some other stuff. What we do is what we do. You got one every day, literally. Does she do that? You don't do it. Thank you. Say it again. That's not for you to discuss. Because you have sisters. Let me give you an example of something. When I first started the husbandry, wow, I took on a big mistake. And I had 2 young sisters, who literally used to sit there and talk about my sex game. Why are y'all sitting there talking about my sex game? What does that got to do about you? You should be discussing how you gonna put some business together. So I had to let them both go. Because that's all they were thinking about. That's not cool. That's real rap though. Okay? Oh, he the bomb. He didn't. No. Y'all not in this. You in this for the wrong reason. Okay? You in this for the wrong reason. Now, if I was some other type dude, then it would have been different. Correct? Yeah. If I was some other type dude on some other things, that would have been fine. It's not what I want. Okay? So we have to be careful. Period. But never. Because then you will cause confusion in the home. You will cause division in the home. Division in your husbandry. Division in your polygamy, whatever you want to call it. Then your marriage, period. Alright, so.
A lot of sisters want to come in.
So, that's definitely a no-no. That's just a thought, a word of thought, a food of thought for y'all. Don't do it. And
we have 100 comments so far. This is a milestone for us. So,
go ahead.
we're gonna redirect the conversation now that we have some sisters in the room. I definitely want to hear more from Joseph and Amani Shakate. And the sisters who just joined us. We're gonna talk a little bit about polyandry. He proves why I think this is of the flesh.
Say it again.
The sister said you prove why she thinks that polygamy is really of the flesh.
No,
does anybody
it's a spiritual concept, but because
trash.
Because of the lustful mindset and the program that we had been given, it became lustful. But it was never about lust. Even think about this. Marriage, even though it's involved intercourse is mainly to do two things, or actually three things. One, to reproduce, right? Two, to please each other. So what's the third? Who can answer that? Come on, sisters. What's the third?
To raise your higher consciousness. Tap into those portals, manifestation.
Say it again.
Tap into those portals for manifestation.
It's actually what we call, who ever heard of reflexology? It's a healing. Okay? Am I correct? It's a healing. But we had lost the concept of healing sexually. Because men have become dogs, because they've been taught from slavery that you are a pup, so they grow up wanting to be a dog. Okay? So now they are just dogging women. You know, one do doggy style, all that kind of stuff in the wrong way. Instead of making love, they want to just dog a woman and have sex with a woman. That's all they want to do. They manhood. That's I'm a man. No. No. You see? That are the programs. And that's all it is. It's the programs. Now, once we go back to our spiritual concept of knowing that the woman that I'm going into, I'm exchanging with her. So she has to eat right, I'm eating right. Right? See? Her mindset has to be right because the mindset plays an important part.
Right.
You see? For example, brothers, we all know we brothers. Now, you know, me personally, I speak of me. Mentally, if I'm not with that sister, I don't care if you gave me 1,000 herbal pills or whatever they got out here in the market. It's not going to help me if it's not mentally. You see what I'm saying? Mentally, it has to be that connection. Okay? So I know for a fact, based off that, it has nothing to do with lust. Period. Spiritual for me, because I'm a spiritual being. I'm a spiritual person. My whole lifestyle, my conversation, I live what I do. My conversation is my lifestyle. And me being a spiritual being, that is an expression of myself. Okay? Had nothing to do with lust.
Okay.
Period.
Okay.
It's a little bit of both for me.
Hey, you can be honest. No wrong with that.
All right. I'm going to give everybody on the other side to give you a chance to chime in if you have a question or a comment. Most men are physical and regardless of their feelings. Angie, Girl on Fire, McLean offers. Any questions, comments from the sisters in particular, anybody out there about the conversation? I feel like we've talked about almost everything. We haven't talked too much about polyandry, but I did want to address a question that came in from Morris Blackman, a.k.a. Ali Muhammad. Just kidding. I don't know who this is.
That's not right.
But it says, we love you, Ali, wherever you are. It says, how important is sisterhood, and does it stop at polygyny? So, for example, sisters, if there's a sister who you vibe with, like Kadia vibes with Kiru, and there's a brother that you vibe with, y'all vibe 100%, everything is good money, right? And then the brother says to you, why don't you bring her in so that she can help us in some way, like to build a family, build a business, so on and so forth. Would the sisterhood stop?
I don't think so. Why would it stop? It should get stronger. Right. But that's only if, like, sometimes I feel like everybody has a choice in this. So it's not like, oh, why don't you just bring that sister in? What if that sister's not interested in coming in, you know? But if she is interested in coming in, and if it's like that, as far as if they can get along, the two women can get along, why not? And I think that it just should get stronger.
Yeah, I agree. I do think that in America, our perception on polygamy can be very lustful. Because when we're talking about polygamy, there's a lot of structure to that. There's a lot of foundation to that. A lot of people that socially introduce polygamy to me, like, can barely support themselves. So if you can't support yourself, why would you invite anyone else into a dysfunctional relationship? So if there is that foundation there, I don't think, I can't speak for any other one. I wouldn't have any issue joining that, especially if it is peace and harmony, you know, with another woman. But with everything you do, there has to be some type of foundation. And it's kind of difficult to have this conversation without talking about that economic piece that he was talking about. Because in America, we are breaking free from an economic system. You know, so if we're in that system, how can we have any type of freedom to an extent?
May I add one thing to this real fast? It is important, and it'll make it a lot easier for my brothers, that first thing we want to do is build a foundation with a sister. Notice how I say it, with a sister. And let that sister bring in the other sisters.
Exactly. That's how it's supposed to go.
Right.
So sisters should choose.
That's important.
That's true.
That is very, very, but listen, again, go back to my concept of me saying that once we espouse, that means shit that. That's a lot of teaching, brother. We gotta listen and hear me well. And I don't care if the sister get mad at me, they get mad at me all they will, because none of them can't beat me. So I don't care. And I'm not gonna fight back. But hear me well. We have to deal with our own mindset. We have to deal with the mindset of our sisters. We have to deal with the mindset of our people. And we have to deal with the mindset of what's going on in our environment. Because our environment, that's why we used the term earlier, I said toxicity. Our environment is toxicity. Your dormants, when you get your dwelling, you get your house together as a husband, get that house together, that should be your safe haven. That's not there for warfare. So you got to find that perfect mate. So communication gonna be, she had to be your friend. Because if she not that friend, that's somebody you can talk to and you can build with. Step 2, when we talked about 2 earlier, agree, they can't walk together. Most people are married today because of children and this, that, and that, and they were just put together. No, we can't do that no more. They haven't worked for us.
That's right.
Okay, it haven't worked for you. Go up there saying, I found this girl I've been sleeping with her all this time, but now she want me to move in. Now I'm going to go get permission to go ask to marry her. That's not marriage. Okay? So again, takes that mindset. We have to teach. We have to be patient. Have a lot of patience with ourselves, with our sister. And once y'all become that strong bond, that she comprehend your thoughts and know that you are that secure man who's being honest, not being deceptive. Okay? Because you know as men we had them tendencies. We got to be honest with that. We got them tendencies to be deceptive sometimes. We can't. How we started is how it's going to end up being. Don't be deceptive. Be honest. You meet a brother, when a sister come to you, let me tell you, I do all the time. Come to me, sister, just be on me. Come up to me, I got wives. She shy away quick. You know what I'm saying? Don't hide it. Okay? Same way sisters have to learn to be honest. Sisters is not doing, y'all not doing it. There are many sisters that get behind closed doors and say, yeah, I'm with this. Hear me well. Yeah, I'm with this. No, you just with me. You really not with this. You really don't want for yourself what you want for your sister. I speak from experience. When they asked me the question earlier, are your wives happy? Hell no. They happy with me though. Right? They happy with me. They love the hell out of me. But you don't love each other? Huh? Did you get mad if I run out here and say, you know what? Okay.
Right.
Since you not doing this, I'm gonna separate myself and I'm gonna go where I can find me some peace. That's not cool.
I had a question actually for you, and any other brothers, because I've battled and I've had this inner conversation with self. Pardon me, I've had this inner conversation with self. How did you find within yourself in your own journey that this was the right path for you? Like, how did you identify that?
I have to go by my nature, and I'm gonna give you a story if you don't mind.
I love it.
As a young man, I called myself changing my life from being in the streets. I used to run the streets like crazy, and I was 22 when I bought my first house. And a lot of elder sisters was always approaching me. And so I went and I married a sister, a young sister. I found a young sister, and I married a young sister that was the wrong thing for me to do. Long story short. And it went against my nature, because me at the time being early 20s, I became a minister. Put it to you this way. I became a minister, and I called myself doing the right thing. All right? By saying, you know, I'm a marry this sister, and that's what I done. Okay? But it went against my nature, and what I mean by my nature is this. My nature as a man, because before I got married and did, and what you call the monogamy way, I always had women all my life. I'm a Sag. As a Sag, they say that a Sag love, when he say he love one woman, he say the next one, he love them all. That is true to my nature. So, once I got out of that bad situation that I was in, I said I will never go back to not loving who I am. But I have to do it honestly. See, when I first came up, my thought was, as a young boy growing up in the streets of West Philly and Southwest Philly, was that I'm a pit bull, you a poodle. Poodles can't even have a pit bull conversation. Don't even come in my room and have a conversation with me. That was wrong. You see? So, as I matured, notice what I said, as I matured and gained wisdom, I said, no, I can go. Living was happy for me. This what keeps me happy. This what strengthens me. To have the ability to, see, every man is not built like this. First of all, like this might mention earlier, right? To have the ability to help and be for collectively, for this sister, then be do the same for that sister and put a smile on her face the same as I can do this other sister, put a smile on her face, but do it honestly and do it lawfully. That's important to me. You see? That it lifts my spirit, because I'm a spiritual being. That's my spiritual calling. To say that I have the ability to pull people together. I have the ability to pull sisters together. Whether they bickering and fighting one at each other, I still have that ability. Because one thing for sure, two things for certain, they all love me. You can't find one to put a finger and say, I don't love that guy. Because they all can love each other, but they don't love themselves enough to love their sister the way they're supposed to.
How many people?
Okay? So the answer to your question, again, it's my nature. And if a man say that it's not in his nature, then he's not really a man. And I have to strengthen it even more because of the fact, once I start studying and knowing that me being a Sagittarius, it's my nature, but I don't use that nature in a negative way. Because we talked about earlier where your thought is at, right? So I don't use that, which I did when I was a young boy coming up. Because I would tell a female before, all that you are to me is just that. And I had that ability where I had 2 or 3 young girls in the room with me at one time. Like, look, you go over here, you go over here, I see you in a few minutes. But that's not good. Okay? So again, I'm not going to fight myself.
I'm gonna just give some attention to this side of the room, and come back around. How many people are in or have been in polygamous relationships? if you feel comfortable sharing, just raise your hand. They want to know where your wives at, and can they speak if they're here? Below, they said, where your wives at?
Where they at? I had one that wanted to come so bad, right? But she wanted to come with that negative energy. And I said, you ain't coming up in here with no negative energy.
Brother Bilal,
I'm telling you, I don't care. And look, I'm a truthful man. Okay? For real. And I have another one at an event. It's a couple of events, other events going on in the city tonight, and they out doing their thing. Okay. And I had one that do hair, and she still at the hair salon doing her thing. Okay? But that's why.
Bloody laughing. Alright. Okay, so if you were in a polygamous relationship or currently are, yeah, they're killing me online.
What they say?
They're just going in. They just really. Sorry. Sister Tahira is messing me up.
What she say?
I
want to laugh too.
They're just putting up laughing faces.
That's alright.
Laughing.
I gotta see this.
That's alright.
I was.
Alright. Anyway, how many y'all?
Tell them true, set them free.
How many of you all are in polygamous relationships? You don't mind sharing your experience if you have been. I have been in a polygamous relationship.
Starting trouble, see?
Your wife just joined Jamal. Say peace to her.
Peace, Tyre.
Yeah, if I have been in a polygamous relationship, and maybe some of you have as well, or are interested in exploring that. If you don't mind sharing what your experiences are, or what you anticipate or want out of that kind of relationship, or why you don't want that kind of relationship.
This is PG-13, right?
This is adult. This is adult audience.
So they want to know if you're interested.
If you was in it, I was in one.
You were in
it. Was brief. It was brief because the second one wasn't fully tied in, and it was like they was doing it for the sake of for me, and also for the positives of it. But then it started to become competition, and for that reason I had to like one woman, she walked away from it. She turned it into a competition, and it was like trying to compete for who's better. And
they said, why didn't it work?
Yeah. I was just saying, it turned into a competition. They was turning it into, I want to be, like, as if, I was trying to get them to understand, like, I love y'all for different reasons. I don't love you for the same reason I love her for. So, but they was trying to turn it into a competition, and then it just wasn't, it was too much about, they lost sight of the mission and what the goal was. We were supposed to be building and working towards establishing economic wealth and having a family and home base, but they wasn't feeling it. It just turned into a competition. It just wasn't working.
I feel you, Najee. Najee said polygamy or nothing. Monogamy does not work for him. Anybody else? Experiences with polygamy, polyandry, polyamory?
I've been polyamorous since about 4 years now.
Can you describe the distinction?
So for me, polyamory has as I learned about it, the self-free love, where it's like you're open, but you're also open to your partner, having partners as well. The reason I embarked upon that journey is because I saw a lot of the people that had influenced me live that lifestyle, and I realized that, like yourself, I have always brought together a lot of women, particularly in my life. For me, it was a challenge, but I think the biggest challenge was the universe was going through a lot of changes. You know, we were entering a new age, a new eon, and a whole new level of self-growth and self-knowledge was needed. And so I just decided to step back from that to grow and be the best me, so I could be for those partners. Still in communication with some of those partners. Some of those partners have moved on, but I will say it's not one, it's not a game. It's not something that people should pursue for lustful ambitions or anything other than pure purpose. If they find it's within their purpose, then it can be a blessing to everyone. For me, I would still live a polyamorous lifestyle. I can't ever say I'm polygamous because that's you're married. There's a level of accountability and responsibility that I think marriage entails that people don't understand. When you're married to somebody, be it one or many, that's a whole different ballgame. It's a whole different way of life, and it's a whole different expectation on what you bring home. And so I could care for myself. I know I was not ready to care for 4 individuals, 3 individuals, in addition to myself. But as I said, I will continue as such because I'm true to my nature. But I'm journeying to be the best me for those individuals with communication. It's not all about being sexually active. Actually, I'm also living now celibate in spiritual growth, because a lot of times people just cater to their physical life forms, that earthly plane, and not understanding that there's a level of growth that's needed outside of that. Right. That's needed outside of the wealth that you're building on material. Community, building community, very important. What you spoke to about the young man, that was a very powerful moment for me, because it hurts to know that young men could say such things about sisters, and we as a community don't correct it immediately. Right. You know, I mean, Haile Selassie said, you know, that. Now I probably won't quote it exactly as it is, but it's basically saying that the evil has only persisted because the voice of reason was silent in the moment to correct it. And so if we're not stepping up to right those ills, we're not stepping up to heal those different ills that we have in different communities, like you were saying. We don't all suffer from the same problems. Like she was saying, we have to daily work this. It's like the battle doesn't stop against us. You know, the police ain't gonna stop tomorrow. You know, the media is not gonna stop presenting us wrong. So we have to continuously be mindful about the life we're living and the community we're building. And so I'm rereading Naeem Akbar's Community of Self, and understanding that until I can really and confidently say I have developed a community of self that I know I can hold another community down bigger than myself, I don't think I should be looking to develop a family of 3+ individuals. Partner, child. I'm journeying, and I'm involved in conversations, involved in building business, involved in building community, involved in building a future with individuals I hope to be longevity, you know, for the rest of my life. But I'm not at that point in my journey where I'm gonna say, yeah, let's go get married right now. You know, right. Let's all get married. And that's also, you know, depending upon the life you're trying to journey to. Because I have a lifespan I'm planning for. You know, my grandfather died at 101. My grandmother's 99 right now. And so it's like, I'm not, like 27 is, you know, that's early in the journey. I ain't like, it's early in the journey. I got 3 businesses, you know, like, but each of them with different partners, so.
So I have a good question from Sister Tahira. She said, I think this is a really excellent question. Why y'all can't bring them together and be big brothers to the sisters and help them regardless, just as black men in the community? Why do they have to be yours in order to create economic growth? We don't even know how to be brothers and sisters to each other before being husband and wife. Can we get some slaps on that?
No, you know what? Go with all listen, no, that is real talk. But let me say this to you. Because I read, listen, let me just say this.
We're going to wrap up in 15 minutes. So if anybody else wants to answer that before we get to Bilal, he has to leave in about 10 minutes.
Yeah, I'm out of here.
Anybody else want to answer that question?
I do. Well, go ahead, young man. Hey, bro.
Okay, well, I have female best friends. that I'm not doing anything with to make us married, along with my wife. They call me a lot, talk on the phone for hours sometimes, ask me a lot of questions, and basically I am a big brother to multiple women, more than four, maybe five, and some of them are on and off. And my wife does know, that I do talk to women on the phone a lot. They call me. Sometimes we hang out. And I do play big brother. And these women, besides saying my best friend, there is no ownership in that. So, I mean, it's a real general statement that doesn't apply to everyone.
I think for the men who advocate polygamy, that is a big thing. It's like, oh, but we need the sister to...
No, we don't. No, we don't.
All right. Go ahead, Sister Iman.
So...
And they asked that everyone can speak louder, sorry.
Okay, so my personal piece is that it would be awesome if the brothers that I know could step in as big brothers or men, because I carried a whole thing all by myself. And I know a lot of brothers, and it shouldn't be like that. And I'll say to the brothers, listen, I have this situation at home. And I don't get that, let me get over there and check it out.
That's right.
Let me come over and help.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get that. What I get is the brothers shying away. And to I actually had a brother that I was connected to say to me, well, you were a woman and I am a man, and that was it.
Whoa.
What? Gone. Haven't seen him since.
What does that even mean?
That's deeper than usual.
Isn't that right?
What that mean?
Well, what does that? My question is, what does that say about me?
Might have been
What
that
am
you was
I?
a little bit more spiritually advanced than
Something
he
was going on.
He was stronger than he
I
was.
always run into an issue with that. Like for me,
I think.
like
Go ahead. No.
like for me, like when I was in school, when I was in college, I was one of the first people that was thinking on a higher level of consciousness at Cheney University. So I kind of like changed culture there. But my thing was like, I had a girlfriend, I had a lady already I was involved with. And when I would speak and I would teach and I would help and give advice and stuff like that, it would make them be interested in me now.
Right.
And it was like I would have intellectual conversations with them, and I was like, oh, you gave me mental stimulation, so now I'm interested in you. And I would get in trouble with her because it's like, why that girl looking at me funny now? I'm like, I don't know, I just talked to her once. She's like, I don't like what you're doing. I like that you being positive and you teaching and stuff, but I don't like now because every time you talk to people now, they looking at me as if it's like, what do you see her? But I'm like, I don't know. I'm just being helpful. I just wanted to help so many people, but yet in turn it was making them be interested in me. So it just was like I had to shy away from that.
Some people are insecure and some people are needy.
Mm-hmm.
So you got the insecure one responding and the needy one that's ready to clean.
Brother Willie, you had something to add?
Well, I just think that we need more men and brothers to help these sisters out here. I'm finding that there's a lot of single women with, how can I say, fatherless children. And it's not that the women are looking for a father figure or a father for their children, but those young children do need some type of male role model in their life because these women can raise a young man, but they can't teach a young man how to be a young man. So I think we need more brothers to participate in like group sessions to help a lot of the sisters. I'm Wali, so I am a Wali in the Muslim community, so a lot of women come to me for help. You know what I mean? So I do help a lot of women, period. That's what I do. I help a lot of people, period. And I do find what the young man said to be true, though. A lot of times when a lot of women come to you with their issues, they kind of throw themselves on you like, here I go too, you know what I mean? You willing to help me out, you know, or you willing to take me on too? And I know it's a lot of brothers out here to take on more women than they can really deal with or handle maturely. So,
all right. So we're wrapping up. We have the final analysis. The question is: so does polygamy work? Does polygamy work? Is it the solution, or do we just need to be better brothers and sisters to each other? One word: yes or no.
Yes.
Hold on, because naturally women are drawn to power and knowledge. Born you truth, you have to be mature in how you deliver your wisdom. That's right.
That's right.
You see, when you study the teachings of Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, you have common sense.
Sense ain't common no more. We already know that.
I'm just saying, you just have a
you know,
different
the
kind
bottom
of
line is this,
though.
sis. The bottom line is this, sis. First of all,
yes,
universally, we all brothers and sisters. That's number one. Okay. Number two, yes, it works. Okay. But again, we deal with individuals in our own situations. But it does work.
Okay. Polygamy, yes or no? Is it the solution?
I kind of want to add on to what Brother Wale was saying about, men helping women. I think that's very essential. Mm-hmm. And I think it's also as essential right now for men to be helping men. Because we talk a lot about women issues, and of course we have them. Men also have issues. And kind of like the elder lady was saying over there, she was saying how she calls someone for help and no one can help her. Like, we need basic handyman skills. I don't want a man because he has a penis. I want
handyman skills.
Yeah,
I know you're talking about.
I need someone that can help me out. You know, like a woman.
You know how many phone calls I get all the time? People need this and need that. This is what we do, though, people. Come on, keep it real, y'all. We know brothers, sisters always, not to cut you off, sis, real fast, but brothers, sisters is always calling some brother. They're going to call somebody. That's a given.
Oh, hold up. Because it's the end of the conversation, I'm not going to go into the levels of non-help that I have gotten over the course.
Have you ever called me and I wasn't there? Have you ever called me and I wasn't there? Huh? Okay. Answer the question. Have you ever called me and I wasn't there?
I'm not going to go over the amount of non-help
that I have. I'm going to say this again. Have you ever called me and I wasn't there?
We have to make our brothers more accountable.
I'm asking you again. Have you ever called me and I wasn't there?
That's not a personal thing. I'm just
See,
saying.
we don't want. You're not gonna let you man bash. Come on now.
Oh, I'm not man bashing. I'm just saying. I'm affirming her point that
I got you, but I'm gonna answer my question again.
Like
you said earlier, it's a yes or no.
What she's saying is, brother, it's not about you.
I know.
It's about the community. So I wanna hear it, and I want to continue, please.
Yes,
please.
sir.
So I think it's kind of just like, how can we add value to each other's lives? So I think first we have to add what is our own value. So I know, like, he's doing a lot of rites of passage program for men, right? Rites of passage program for women. Before we start connecting, who are we individually and building ourselves? You know, like, as women, what skills do we have? Are we cooking? Can we clean? Are we self-sufficient, right? Can we sew? So I think that's very important.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
That's a question that whoever's asking that has to ask for himself, you know. Is it right for you? Yes or no? It's not. I can't answer that for everybody.
Men need to be better men and build each other and their own selves up instead of screwing over these women with this fake polygamy nonsense. That's what I'm going to say online.
Our brother said that?
Mm-hmm.
What did he say again?
Oh, it was a brother.
He said men need to be better men and build each other and their own selves up instead of screwing over these women with this fake polygamy nonsense. Then he said, shut up. How are you telling yourself to shut up?
Because he let that feminine energy.
Yeah, that's
It's called animus.
Okay, all right. Sister Keru, yes or no to polygamy or better brotherhood, sisterhood?
Both. If it's a mature, environment, situation. I feel like if we can heal ourselves and heal the relationships that we do have, then we can add people to that. Otherwise, it's just a mess. and a waste of time. And then you just have more bitterness, you have more stuff to clean. And yeah, I think that if we can mature enough and get ourselves together, we could do this.
They like that comment, Kiru. Like if you have a social media, Facebook or Instagram, and you want to shout it out before we keep moving, do you want people to follow you, Brother Joseph?
Oh, sure.
What's your name on Facebook?
Televise the Movement.
Televise the Movement.
Televise.
Are you on Instagram? Same thing?
On Instagram, yeah.
Televise the Movement.
Oh, you can just Joseph Bosley on Facebook.
Joseph sure. What?
Bosley. Yes. B-A-Z-E-L-A-I-S.
Joseph Bosley. Great. Awesome. Sister Kadia.
Well, I think that there is definitely a need for more brother and sister in it. I think that that's really important. But I also do feel that polygamy can be really beautiful if both people are mature and if both people go in knowing exactly what they want to get out of it. I know for me, I'm kind of interested in it. I've thought about it a lot. And I know that I'm a person who I feel like I need a lot of help when it comes to just menial tasks and stuff, like domestic things. So if I could find a sister who I feel like has more strength in those areas, I think that it would be something that would be beneficial for me. I look at it as being beneficial for me. So I think it's a need for both. The unity of the brothers and the sisters, and to really think about polygamous relationships in a mature way.
That's a good point. And people want to follow you, how do you do that?
Kadia Blanks on Facebook.
Blanks? Yeah. Kadia Blanks.
I think it can work. I feel like we need balance. Balance prevents dysfunction. So I feel like we need a balance of everything. So you need the brother and sisterhood. You need that. And I also feel as though the polygamy can't work done properly. And then everybody on the same page buys in, being positive and bringing something to the table. And they all on the same accord and understand the big picture. I think it can work. So we just need balance.
Travis Brown.
Travis Brown.
Candace_Savior. Thank you, brothers, for coming.
My answers are yes and yes. One, I don't think polygamy can last without the brotherhood of both men and women. So I think that goes hand in hand.
You are Methuselah Davis.
Methuselah Davis on Facebook. on Instagram is crack, K-R-A-C-C-K.
K-R-A-C-C-K on Instagram. Sister Iman Arujami, the midwife, the master doula, magic hands massage therapist, the inner circle.
Yeah, well, I definitely believe polygamy can work. I think it takes a lot of. Well, see, I'm an older person, so now it'll work. It might not have worked back then, but it'll work now because it takes a lot of maturity and it takes a vision.
I knew it was something different.
The vision can't be personal. It has to be larger than yourself, and about your community and about your nation and about your culture and your spirituality. And when it's on that level, I think it can work.
And Sister Tahira gives you a shout out as the best massage therapist ever. If you want a session with Sister Iman and her magic hands, you can check her out at Inner Circle Midwifery and Indigenous Healing Center. Come by, stop by, give her a call, hit her up on Facebook.
So I'm gonna call her later.
I think that we should be better brothers and sisters first, and then if you decide polygamy works for you, then being a better brother and sister will help that out. If you decide it's not, then being a better brother or sister helps the community out. But I think individual responsibility and better support amongst each other in the community is a prerequisite for everything.
Absolutely, I agree with that.
I feel like
this is Fred LaPrince, by the way, on Facebook.
I feel like polygamy is definitely it would be definitely helpful to the community. But to kind of piggyback off of what he said, because for me this is like a very new concept for me personally, and it just made me realize that in order for me to be in a situation like that, I realize I have to do a lot of self-reflection and soul-searching so that I can make sure I'm bringing something to the situation, not toxicity, based off the way my mind already is, like the way like my culture is and the way I was raised, as opposed to how I'm trying to accept this concept, because I know that it's all about building, and that's all what I'm for, especially in our community.
Thank you. All right, everyone. You were tuned into our first tea at Inner Circle Midwifery and Healing Center. We're at 5443 Germantown Avenue. We will do this every other Wednesday. The next topic we were thinking of was the evolution of Islam in Philadelphia, but we also want to talk about the conscious community and other things. So if you have a topic that you really want to participate in, hit me up on Facebook, Asasia Muhammad, aka the People's Midwife. All right, we out. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.